Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Experience podcast, inside the business, buzz, and brilliance of Black entrepreneurs. Here is your host, Dr. Frances Richards.
What happens in Vegas goes all over the world on Black Entrepreneur Experience, episode number 94. Thank you for joining us for Black Entrepreneur Experience. This is where we shine the light on the most successful Black entrepreneurs in the world. I'm your host, Dr. Frances Richards, and today I am so humbly honored to have with us Nikki Bell. She's a cook, author, and TV personality, and she's committed to bringing family members back to the dinner table and recouping their love for Sunday dinner. It's almost like bringing back soul food. Hi, Nikki.
Hi, Frances. How are you?
I am absolutely perfect. Thank you for joining us. You have such an extensive bio. Why don't you fill in the gaps and share with our audience what you'd like them to know about you and your company?
Sure. Well, I am originally from North Carolina, off the coast. I currently reside in Atlanta. I was raised by my grandparent. I'm in a real small, tiny town where there's nothing but elderly people and cows. And it was really there where I learned, well, I would say I garnished a love for cooking, because I really was the only child and that my grandparents were raising at the time. So they had lots of time and energy to invest in me and really cultivate my love for food. My grandfather used to be a farmer. He always grew everything. We had at least 3 or 4 gardens every summer. We even had one in the fall and early winter. He grew everything from sweet potatoes to watermelons, green beans, bell peppers, literally everything in between. So I really learned the idea of farm to table before it was this novelty, trendy idea. And my grandmother started teaching me how to cook when I was 7. So I was just really kind of, I guess you can say, made for this. I didn't go to culinary school, but as I got older, I realized that I loved cooking, especially after I competed on the Food Network show America's Best Cook. And I was like, well, you know what? I really am good. I should pursue this thing full term. With the push of my husband, I just stepped out there, and hereforth Nikki Can Cook was born. What it's been about maybe like 4 years later, I am here and a full-fledged celebrity chef and cookbook author and caterer and just making people happy one plate at a time.
Nikki, take us on that journey about you coming back to your first love. You mentioned you did not go to culinary school. So take us on that journey about the detour and how did you come back to your first love?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, when I first went to college, I always, like I was telling you, when I was 7, I was only kid, so I spent Saturdays cooking. But just growing up in the country, you don't know chefs. Nobody's a chef. There weren't even restaurants. So I didn't even know a cook, who worked in a little small cafe or anything. Nothing like that existed. So it wasn't an idea or anything that was planted in my head. But when I went to college, and I did not appreciate it my first semester, I actually wanted to leave. And I was like, I think I can make this culinary school, but I got scared. And when I saw that tuition and that there was no on-campus living, and so I decided to just stay my 4 years. But then when I auditioned for the food, fast forward several years, maybe at least 15 years or so after graduating, I fast forward and I auditioned for the show, and I was like, I really am talented. Like, I beat out thousands of people to make it on this show to hold one of 16 slots, and then it came down to being one of 8 and one of 4. So I was like, I am talented. And I just started to really believe in myself. And my husband, being the great support system that he is, he was like, you got this, girl. Even though when I came home, I did not win. But he said, no, we're going to milk this 15 minutes of fame. And we did exactly that. He pushed me to put together the cookbook author and to get out there and to do press and to meet with people and partnership, just to really get my name out and just really try to make the best of having been on a show, and then, turning that into tangible, which is making it a career, and of course, being able to live comfortably from it.
And tell us, what would you share as a lesson that you've learned prior to starting your business? What is something you wish you knew prior to starting your business that you didn't know?
One thing I wish I would have known was the discipline that it takes to start a business. Because when you work for yourself, and if you're a any tiny bit have a little bit of procrastination, it makes it even harder because no one's over you saying you have to do this and you need to do that. The cooking is the fun side, but managing the business is the challenging part where you have to make sure you're bringing in customers. And when you're doing jobs, you're getting a return on your investment and you're filing your taxes and keeping all of that. What I would say, like that stuff is not fun to me because those are not my strength points. Those are the things that I wish I would have known in advance and, prepared myself in advance for stepping out into entrepreneurhood. It's just how to properly run a business so that you will make sure that your business is profitable and that you're constantly gaining new clients and making your current clients happy.
Talk about your clients. Who is an ideal client for Nikki?
Sure, ideal client is anyone who wants to enjoy a good meal and they want it to taste like I put my foot in it, literally. I service people from everywhere from corporate clients to people who are just having a backyard barbecue, everything in between. I'm open to providing services and working with a client's budget. As long as you want to eat and you have people to feed, I would love to provide services.
And what was that aha moment, Nikki, that you knew that your business was going to be successful?
I would say that when I started to realize that people were going to an event and they had the food of my client and they called me, that was when I realized that the business was going to be successful because not only did you enjoy my food, but you didn't mind referring me to your friends and family and coworkers when you were having an event. So that was how I knew that, this was going to be pretty solid for me. And then when people eat and then they just smile, I knew that was a good indicator as well.
Now, do you guys do pop-ups? Do you do food trucks, or are you doing more catering or going to individual locations for your business?
Yes, I actually do more catering and personal chef services at the time. We are looking to explore some pop-ups in the Atlanta area come fall time to do some private dinners and different events based around different food themes come in the fall of 2018.
And I hear some amazing things about Atlanta. I've been there several times, and just the culture for entrepreneurship and specifically African Americans and entrepreneurship. And you talked about being in North Carolina and venturing onto Atlanta. Is that the best place for you to build your business and to grow your business, being in Atlanta?
I would say it is because people always have things going on. There's a robust film industry here that is always in need. Just the amount of corporations. There's a high income here. So where people, of course, have higher incomes, they need personal chef services. They don't mind hiring a caterer because it's their mom's birthday party. It definitely keeps me busy here, as I would say, as if I would have chose to maybe move back to North Carolina or something like that. I don't think I would be able to maintain and stay as busy.
You talked about discipline and something that's very critical being an entrepreneur and how you have to do that mind shift. What is, Nikki, a daily or a weekly habit besides being disciplined that you do consistently that has given you the greatest success?
I would say as an entrepreneur, oftentimes your personal life and work life really just blurs. In my industry, you don't have a set schedule. I can very easily work every day of the week. If I chose to, oftentimes I work weekends, so I don't really get a true weekend. It was really important to me to set aside personal time to enjoy my life and not to allow my life to pass me by because I'm really busy creating special moments for other people. If I know that I'm going to work the whole weekend, I know that Monday belongs to me. I'm not going to go to work. I'm not going to accept client calls or emails and things like that. I'm going to allow that day to be my weekend to refresh myself so that moving forward towards the remaining of the week, I have the energy, kind of like the energy just to put forth into whatever that week is requiring of me. So I would say having separation between work life and business life is very important.
What's working well for you now in your business?
I would say right now what's working well is just my clients. I really love them. They refer me to people, just that whole referral system, and people call me and send me emails and they think of me when they have me in events. Just being able to have repeat clients and have those clients refer me to their family and friends is working very well.
So, Nikki, talk to a younger you. What advice would you give to a younger you?
I would say be diligent, and I would also say, to believe in yourself as well as stand fast for the things that you want to accomplish and attain, and be true. Be true and disciplined.
Nikki, I think more so today than ever before with reality TV and social media and everything, I think that being around celebrities or whatever is a lot closer than we think it is, right? It's not so far removed, but someone is out there listening and they are hearing about the competition that you were successful to make it on the show. Drop some value bombs. What do you think the truths that got you over? You mentioned you beat out all of these other contestants. What do you think that Nikki did to set you out amongst the crowd? All the noise, what made you stand out, do you think?
I think it was I came to the table being my genuine self, being a likable person, and I wasn't putting on a front. I was not doing things for airtime or anything. I just presented the real version of myself, and I really think that is what has propelled me forward with just being that, because I forgot to mention this earlier, but I also do a series called Cooking and Cocktails. And of course, I know people come for the cooking class and the cocktails, but I know it's also the engagement and personality that I give them. So I think that is really what sets me apart.
And you mentioned that you're an author. You have written a cookbook. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
So if someone wrote a personal book about you, what would the title be of that book?
I would probably say The Art of Eclecticism.
Nice. Nikki, who are your top 2 influencers and what lessons have they taught you?
That is a good question. Top 2 influencers. I really, to be honest with you, I don't have anyone on my radar right now, as far as my top influencers. I can say occurred from that, I use Instagram as my inspiration and my motivations. I make sure that I fill my page with lots of other small businesses or women in business that are making moves, that some of them are even from the Atlanta area. So I follow people who constantly keep me inspired and motivated and keep me on the right path. Of course, unfortunately, there are names that I don't recall at this time to share with them, but I use Instagram not as a way to just keep up with celebrities and gossip and stuff like that, but I use it as an inspiration and motivation for me to just constantly keep me on the path of where I want to be in my personal life as well as in my business life.
And you mentioned Instagram. What other technology tool or technology platform is a must-have for you in managing your business day to day?
I would probably say Gmail is definitely, all Google products are must have for me because I spend a lot of time in grocery stores, at events. I'm not strapped to a computer or I'm in the kitchen. So being able to just use the whole Google suite of Google Docs, Google Drive, Gmail, just being able to use all those together really keeps my business going, because even if I'm away from my laptop and I need to create a document and send it to a client immediately, like any type of contract and agreement, I can do so within minutes right on my phone using Google Drive. So that is so pivotal for me right now. I'm also working on rebranding and using Instagram in a better way to leverage my business as well. So I know that would probably be my next best platform and tool to use.
You've had, Nikki, some amazing accomplishments in your life, and thanks for sharing them about the celebrity cooking, being on the show, the book. What would you say is the biggest achievement so far in your business?
I would probably say the biggest achievement so far I was just recently highlighted in February's issue of Fast Company. I was highlighted as a top pro for another company called Thumbtack. There, if you are able to land your hands on a February 2018 issue of Fast Company, you will see a nice spread of me and a little snippet about my business being a personal chef and caterer here in Atlanta. So that is probably like my latest and biggest accomplishment, is to be in that magazine.
That is pretty huge, and I'm sure I have that article, as I love Fast Company and I do subscribe to it. So thanks for sharing that information.
You're welcome.
Let's switch gears. Let's talk about risk. Take us to that worst moment in business. Tell us about that worst moment in business for you, Nikki, and what is your takeaway?
Worst moment in business. I would probably say the getting started off the ground was probably like some tough times for me because, as you know, I mentioned before, I did not go to culinary school. So I didn't really have necessarily that how-to knowledge of how to be a personal chef or how to be a caterer. I really had on-the-job training via myself. It was a lot of curveballs on the customer service side because it's something different to prepare a great dish, but people also want excellent customer service and professionalism. So, really just learning those things along the way. And there were some, in the beginning, there were some dissatisfied customers where I didn't always hit the 100% mark, but taking that mistake and learning from it and knowing not to repeat from it and creating lists and double checking them twice so that I don't arrive to someone's home and I've forgotten a pivotal part of my catering, to make their celebration, or remembering if I'm doing a personal chef that the client has an allergy to peanuts. Those were kind of like the beginning, some of those really trying times as I was learning how to be a caterer and how to be a personal chef while I was just executing things really to the best of my abilities and from the standpoint of how I would like to receive service. Really getting over that hurdle because in the beginning there were some hiccups. I'll never forget a time I drove about 40 minutes near my home where I was taking food to a client, and I got there. It was a Thanksgiving celebration, and I had forgot their salad, and the salad was very important. It was maybe for about 75 people, and they were very upset. They didn't take it nicely or anything. They were like, "Where's our salad? We're going to tell other people about your business and you won't get any work done ever again." So it was horrible. But that was a learning experience for me to double check and before things go out the door to make sure that I have everything that belongs to a client.
Nikki, how did you recoup from that?
It took a lot of mental talking, like a lot of self-talk to myself, because where the manager wanted to try to tear me down by saying that they'll tell other businesses, because this was a corporate gig, they'll tell other companies about me. I really had to tell myself this was a mistake. It happens. It's not the end of the world. Just keep on pushing forward. I may not ever get work from this client again, but just don't take it personal and don't hang out. This was a learning curve. I had to talk to myself a lot because it hung heavy over my head for a few days before I was like, I have to just let it go.
What are your goals for the future with your brand and your business?
My goals for the future is to definitely transition into all things food. I want to take my brand, although I will still maintain personal chef and catering on the back end, but in the front end, just really be known for healthy and delicious food and from an educational standpoint. So educating people about what's in their food, proper diet and nutrition, the way your breakfast should look or the way your dinner plate should look, and the do's and don'ts of really food, and defining the difference between what is food and what is not. So really just that educational. I am looking for brand partnerships. So if there are any brands, up and coming food brands that are looking to be exposed or me create recipes using their products, I'm definitely open to that. So that is the area that I want to move my brand into, food education, and working with other businesses to highlight their companies and things that I enjoy, either through recipe sharing or through pictures.
One of the things that's pretty powerful, you were talking about food education and shifting. And one of the things that came to mind, this is just kind of a brainstorm. You can be like the cow, eat the hay and throw away the stubble if it resonate with you. But when you think about food education and other companies that you can partner with, I'm thinking of maybe like in your area of fitness coach, right?
Yes.
When you're talking about food education, because I was thinking about something that is really brilliant is when it's not Pizza Hut, it's Domino's. And I was trying to, as I was thinking about my own business, I think it's a brilliant idea when you look at adjacent collaborations. What they did was when they had said, okay, call Domino's if you have like a pothole, right? They'll fix your pothole. And I think that's a brilliant marketing strategy because someone might think, what is Domino's? What are they doing with potholes, right? But it's brilliant how they saw an adjacent market that they can go into, pull people into their market, right?
Yes, I totally agree with you.
I think that's brilliant. Nikki, if you had to do it all over again, would you do the same business and the same industry? And if yes, why?
Yes, I would choose it because it's what I love, it's what I enjoy, it's what truly makes me happy. And they say if you enjoy what you do, you never work a day in your life. And I truly believe that. At the end of the day, even though my day may have started really early, but I don't feel like it. Having my own business allows me such flexibility to create my own schedule and vacation when I want to versus before when I was in a 9-to-5 marketing job and I had to work when someone else told me to work and I didn't have that flexibility. So I would totally do it all over again. I wouldn't change anything at all.
You talked about the 9-to-5. Tell us the industry, if you don't mind, that you were working in, and is there any takeaways that you have learned from that job that you're currently using in your current position, or is the industries like totally bipolar?
Yes, I was previously in marketing. Of course, all of the marketing strategies that I executed and did for other people, now I can execute them myself as far as creating my own email campaigns and learning how to roll things out in advance. And so the marketing strategies that I used when I worked for someone else, I can now apply them to like my own business. That was what I learned in a 9-to-5. It's definitely been helpful in my business as an entrepreneur.
Nikki, you talked about happiness and just your food. Cooking with Nikki is like amazing and you love it. How do you keep your happy?
I keep my happy by focusing on self-care. I truly am a believer of self-care and taking time out for yourself to do whatever it is that you love. Always checking in on your own mental health, making sure that you're taking care of yourself, even when you're taking care of business, family, friends, or whatever, that you're taking that precious time to nurture your own soul and the things that bring you peace and joy. That's baths or reading or shopping or making sure that you're constantly healing and moving forward and being progressive, that you're not stagnant with your own growth.
One of the hot topics that everyone wants to know is about capital.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get the capital to start your business?
Well, I stayed at my job for some time before I left, and I did my business on the side until I saved up enough money to comfortably feel like if something happened to me, would be okay. And what did happen was that my job did let me go. They phased out the need for me as a marketing specialist. They let me go, but when they let me go, I didn't have to fret about being let go because I had saved up money to start my business, to move forward with it. Because I was working and I sacrificed my weekends to do Nikki Can Cook. But also I was a contractor. So if a job was going to pay me more than to go to work, I would just forego going to work that day to be paid hourly. And although I didn't need the money that I made from my business, so it made it easy for me to save it so that I can move forward to make that move to own my own business. So my job was like a toodles. I was able to just put my feet to the ground and just put into motion the things to make my business move as smoothly as possible.
One of the challenges when individuals are trying to transition from 9 to 5 to that entrepreneurial mindset and going full time into the business. Did your employer know that you had a side gig, or did you keep it under wraps?
I kept it under wraps. My employer, they did not know that I had a side gig. It wasn't something that I openly shared with them. And I'm not saying that that's the way to be or not be. It was just something that I did not discuss with them.
Yeah, and each person is different. And I know working in the workforce and building my business on the side, I took on the same discretion that you did. I didn't share. And I'm noticing just what's happening. And this is not blanket that all employers are like this, but I'm finding that a lot of employers now, they want to know everything you're doing. They want you to sign non-disclosures, non-compete. The job that I was on for 11 years, every summer we had to write down everything that we were doing. Like if you had any outside interest or anything, you had to disclose that. And before, I find when I was in the workforce, that wasn't so. They didn't want to, I can understand if you're doing something that's competing with that industry, but if you're doing something that's outside of what they're doing, I don't think they need to know everything that you're doing. And I think companies are really wanting to monopolize a lot of your time to keep you in that 9 to 5 mentality.
Yeah, that's crazy. I've never heard that before. I would probably totally agree to keep you there because you are a value to them. So when you leave, they have to put in time, money, and resources to replace you and then bring someone else up to speed. So, I definitely see that tactic. I understand it. I don't agree with it, but I definitely understand it.
Do you have any Black entrepreneurs that's inspiring you to keep it going?
Yes, I do. I definitely keep tabs on Malik Till. She is the owner and creator of the Curl Pots. She definitely keeps me going. I follow her on Instagram and I find her to be very inspirational to other African American women who own their own businesses.
Thank you for sharing that. Share with us, Nikki, a parting piece of advice that you would like our audience to know.
A piece of advice. People always say chase your dream, but I'm like, if you're chasing your dream, that means you're constantly running behind it. And I don't think that's any fun for you. I would say you have a dream, put into motion the steps and things that are going to get you to where you need to be. Set out a plan, work with someone who can help you get there, find you a mentor, invest time and energy into your dream so that it's no longer a dream, you can make it reality. But don't think of it like I gotta chase, you have to run out behind it. Because if you already have the idea, the seed's already planted, half of the work's already been done, your dream's just waiting on you.
And you talked about finding a mentor. How do you find or vet a mentor?
Well, I would say with any business, you definitely should keep tabs on the people who are in your industry. Follow them, reach out to them, and just frankly ask. If you do some research on them and ask if they be willing to meet with you, set up a few questions to see if you feel like you would be a good fit for them. And then, just take it from there. But I would say with anything that you're remotely close interested in, you should drown yourself with that daily because we spend so much time on social media. So your social media, if you have to create a separate page for it, should reflect your dream and your interests of those people who are in your industry so that you're constantly aware of what's going on, what are the latest trends, what other people are doing, who's making waves, and then keep yourself abreast to what's happening.
Nikki, if someone spent the day with you, what would they learn?
They would definitely learn how to cook something for sure, but just of course, all about Southern hospitality. I'm pretty sure if they didn't know how to cook, I would make sure they would walk away at least with one recipe underneath their wing. But, just how to be genuine and how to be carefree, not anxious or worry, and just be present and in the now. Those are the things and the type of energy that I really like to impart with people.
Nikki, we've come to our part of our podcast and we call it Fun Facts Lightning Round. And I'm going to ask you a series of questions and I would like you to give us very quick answers. Are you ready for the Fun Facts Lightning Round?
I sure am. Well, shoot 'em.
The last movie you saw, Nikki?
The last movie I saw, I'm ashamed to say it, was called The Nanny Killer on Lifetime.
You relaxed doing what?
Nothing. I relaxed doing absolutely nothing. Sitting on my porch and being present. No phone, nothing. Just enjoying a breeze.
And I have a saying, the art of doing nothing is doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's giving you that self-care that you need. So that's really good. Your favorite singer or rapper?
Ooh, my favorite singer or rapper, I don't have one, as crazy as it sounds. So I'm going to go with who I'm enjoying right now. Their latest album is Jacquees. I'm really enjoying that album. It's probably going to be my anthem for the summer.
And your favorite dance song?
Ooh, I don't have a favorite dance song, but I do have a favorite song, and that is Mary J. Blige's cover of Sweet Thing. That's like my all-time favorite song from since I was a kid.
And this is going to be an absolute great question. What food do you eat every week, no matter what?
Vegetables. I eat vegetables every week. It's not like a food particularly. I really don't have something like one thing that's my favorite. If you give me a plate of something that is colorful and green, I love it. That just fits the category and bill of like my favorite food. I have to have vegetables every day, a plate of them from lunch until dinner time. I need them. Drink them, eat them, however they come.
Your favorite month?
April.
Thank you.
I love April.
Absolutely. Nikki, thank you so much for joining us on Black Entrepreneur Experience. But before we let you go, what is the best way for our audience to connect with you and to support your business? So if you could share your social media handle and anything else that our audience could reach out and support your business, that would be wonderful.
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. My handle is Nikki Can Cook, and that's NIKKICANCOOK, and that's Nikki Can Cook, exactly how it sounds, Nikki with 2 Ks. You definitely can go to my website at nikkicancook.com. You can download a version of my cookbook if you like that, or if you would like a physical copy, you're welcome to purchase one of those on my website as well. I'd love to autograph it. If you're in the metro Atlanta area, and next time you have a catering gig, you definitely send me an email for a custom menu and a quote. I'd love to be a part of your next celebration. Or if you want to have me travel to where you are for a personal chef dinner, I would be more than welcome to. Happy to do that as well.
Nikki, thanks so much, and keep us posted on everything's happening with your company, and we will definitely support you.
Thank you so much. I thank you for having me and allowing me the opportunity to share all the things that I have learned this far. I appreciate that. Thank you for the platform.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening and subscribing to Black Entrepreneur Experience. We would love for you to leave a review and rating on iTunes and share with your friends. For show notes and more episodes, go to www.beepodcast.com. Join us next Wednesday, and remember, green is the new black. So keep your bank accounts and your business in the black.